Welcome to the Daily Influence, where our mission is to deliver a daily dose of positive influence that can uplift you personally or be shared within your sphere of influence. While not every episode may directly apply to your unique circumstances, we strive to provide insights and inspiration relevant to most people's daily, weekly, and monthly lives. Whether you are tuning in during the morning, noon, or night, the Daily Influence is here for you. Listen, share, and embrace the power of influence in your life.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Influence. I am so glad you are here with us today and you chose to spend some time for a daily dose of positive influence. My guest today is Christy Floriani of Freedom Promotions. We met recently through networking and we became fast friends. She's an amazing human, and I'm super excited to have her on with us. Christy, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Wow, that was a great introduction. I appreciate it so much. Thanks, Greg.
Oh, you're welcome. Christy, can you share a little bit about yourself with our listeners?
Sure. I am a mother of a son who's turning 18, going through the realities of that. And I'm fortunate enough to have two others in my life, a 15-year-old stepdaughter and a 9-year-old stepson. My career has been in social work. I have my master's degree and spent the majority of that career working on what I like to think of as the prevention side of things. So working with parents and children and very young children, and talking with parents about their importance as their child's first teachers. So I've made a transition and I'm now in promotional products, but I think throughout this interview, you might learn how that makes sense with my whole life's mission.
I love it. I'm so excited to get into this and for you to share your story with our listeners, because I already know it and I think it's an amazing one. So let's just jump right in.
All right.
Christy, tell us about a specific moment or experience where you felt you made a significant positive impact in someone's life.
Okay. I've been so fortunate that my work involves these experiences constantly. And one that just comes to mind is pretty recent. A few years ago, I was working as a home visitor, again, to parents of very young children. And the home visiting program involved me going to their homes, working on simple activities with children, and just going over what was happening in their brains for that early learning component, but also helping new moms, new parents access the resources they might need. They qualified for our program by having lower incomes. So there were a lot of ways that we could help support and bridge the gaps with resources. So there's one special mom who just really, really moved me and continues to this day. In short, her story is that she, it's hard to talk about. It's terrible. She grew up in a home where both parents were addicted to crack. And she became a child parent, basically. That's a little bit about her background. When I entered her life, she had just moved to Illinois from another state. She had just moved in with her now husband and his family, who were native Spanish speakers, or not native, excuse me. They were bilingual for the most part, but mostly Spanish speaking family. And she did not yet know Spanish. She didn't have a car. She didn't know anybody. And she was living in the basement of her future in-law's home with no work and an implied understanding that she should kind of stay downstairs. She had a stepdaughter, and she was jumping into caring for that stepdaughter. And that's where I first started to see her strengths. This was during some of the pandemic hybrid learning, and she was taking on her new stepdaughter's learning right away, teaching lessons, making sure she stayed on track. Her goals began to unfold the more we spoke, and she wanted to have her own business. She wanted to be a caregiver, even though she had been under duress to care for others since birth. She also wanted to care for people and was just looking for the right avenue to do that. She was about a semester away from graduating college, and her move to Illinois interrupted all that. I could say more, but I just want to share with you some of what she shared with me recently. So she said, thanks to you sharing that XYZ information with me, my family and I have found a home with a peace of mind. Since then, I have opened and operated our family-owned business, Los Niños de Estrellas, forgive my Spanish, in-home daycare. We're seeking license, sure, but we're also hoping to become a dual language in-home daycare center. During this time, she says, I've been learning that the value of time and showing up. I know in the past time management was an issue, but now I'm more aware that in my line of work and career, I must respect people's time because I could miss opportunities. That little part in the back was because the last time we were supposed to meet, she did not show up. So this is a few years later, and hearing in her own words that I could have, helped support her means the world to me.
What a beautiful story, Christy. Thank you so much for sharing that. That you can clearly see how you had a positive influence on her. And now the positivity that she's going to be spreading with so many kids in her daycare program.
Yeah.
It's just that, say, another example of the ripple in the water. You were that stone that started with her and it just spread out.
I mean, I could take no credit, but I saw that she was learning Spanish so she could get along better and talk with her mother-in-law. She was learning food to cook for her husband and her family to combine their cultures. She's just a very, very special person against all odds. So I'm the lucky one.
You're both very lucky. That's wonderful. In your opinion, why is it important for individuals to actively seek opportunities to spread positivity and uplift those around them?
I think you have to be active and proactive about finding places to give what you have to offer. They don't just fall in your lap. Unfortunately, many opportunities will fall in your lap, but they might not be something that makes you feel alive. If you take note of what gets you going, what you're excited about, whether it's sports or education or crafts or art or folks in different difficult circumstances, really pay attention to that, because that will be the food that will fuel your work, your volunteer work. That is just, sometimes thankless, but the rewards are intrinsic. And when you're conscious about and mindful about what you select to do, it makes all the difference.
I agree 100% with you. Absolutely. That is really good advice. Thank you for sharing that.
Well, thanks.
Christy, how do you maintain your own sense of positivity and motivation, especially during challenging times or when you're faced with negativity?
This is a good one. This is a good question. So I don't always, I want to be absolutely positively clear that I have days where it's hard to get up and over that hump. But I got some great advice when I was doing meditation teacher training, and I was having trouble sticking to the meditation part of things, the daily meditation. And I kind of said to my teacher, I feel like it's okay if I just do it, here and there. I don't want to use a, kind of a strong word. I don't want to force myself to the cushion because that feels like the wrong energy. And she said, Christy, you do this every day. You include prayer, meditation, sitting in your everyday life so that when life gives you a huge challenge or a curveball or the bottom feels like it's dropping out, you've already got your infrastructure in place to keep yourself sane, to keep yourself somewhat calm, and to keep yourself fortified against, some of the things that can just blindside us. So, in that practice, I believe that it's important to start the day with the meditation, and especially to include gratitude, 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 gratitude. I'll stop there.
I love it, Christy. That's awesome. I love that. So you practice it each day. So when the challenges arise, you're ready for them because
Exactly.
you've got your mind already in that mindset of your practice. And I love the gratitude part, of course.
Yes.
It's so powerful. Thank you. Christy, what message or words of encouragement would you like to share with our listeners who aspire to make a positive difference in the world?
Okay, when you bring this up, you say people who aspire to make a positive difference in the world. So it's already in this person. They want to do something. And I would say, or I would encourage people to get in touch with that desire and that passion and really, almost like you're a marketing person, think about that person that is your target. What do they look like? What do they wear? What does their day look like? Who do they surround themselves with? What's their purpose? What do other people say about them? Just really imagine this person that you want to be, your golden ideal. And then throughout the days, just think teensy choice by teensy choice. Am I moving towards that person or away? Give yourself some grace when you're not moving towards, but give yourself some gratitude and a pat on the back when you're moving towards that person. And understand that right now means everything. So your choices right now are embodying that person. She's already in you, or he or they are already in you.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome. Thank you for
That's-
sharing that. So, Christy, you pivoted in your career, and now you're with Freedom Promotions, a business that you and your husband started. And I love the mission of the business. Can you share with our listeners about the mission? Because it's having such a positive influence on so many people, the organizations that you are providing to. So can you tell us a little bit about it?
Absolutely. It's my favorite thing to talk about. Thank you for all that. My husband is a founder of Bernie's Book Bank, which is a local book bank model, like a food bank. They serve 315,000 children in Chicagoland every year and are expanding to Milwaukee this year. And Southwest Florida will likely be the third location, and it's national or bust for Bernie's. So I love to be along for the ride there. I don't want to take any credit. It's taken a village, and lots of people have put their energy, their time, and their resources into that mission. but I love to be a part of that. And then stemming from that, yes, we have a company. My husband and I have a company called Freedom Promotions, and we spell it FREADOM. Notice read is right at the center. Freedom Promotions is a promotional products company with a mission to give back. We give 100% of our profits to literacy programs. Nobody else is doing that, 100%. So in 2 years, we've given away $61,000 to our 4 beneficiaries, and we're just growing from there. We're going up and up and up. Sky's the limit. People who have to, spend their marketing budget already on these, items that are giveaways at fairs or T-shirts for road races. That might not be their favorite thing on their to-do list, but knowing that they're shopping for a cause and for impact, it makes all the difference. And that's why it's easy for me to talk about it all day long.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank
to
you.
and your husband for starting that organization and giving back to literacy, because we know, especially that literacy is a huge problem here in the United States. And through helping children with literacy programs, we can really make a difference in the future of their lives.
Absolutely. It really can impact and ripple across every social ill you can imagine, and make a tremendous difference for our communities, economically, socially, and just quality of life. So, yes.
So, Christy, if people want to get in touch with you or Bernie's Bank, what's the best way that people can do that?
So, the website for Freedom Promotions is FREADOMPROMOTIONS. So that's Freedom Promotions with Read and freedom.com. Or you can email me. My first name is spelled CHRISTY. It's Christy at Freedom Promotions. Bernie's Book Bank is at berniesbookbank.org. Just all one word, no apostrophe in the website.
We'll put both of those in the show notes for our listeners. Christy, thank you so much for joining me today. It's always great to see you, and thank you for having a positive influence on me and so many others.
Thank you, Greg. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm a rookie at this podcast thing, but always love talking with you, and absolutely want to share the word about how people can, maintain positivity.
And thank you to our listeners for joining us. We hope you got something out of today's episode. Please share it with your friends or family who could use a daily dose of positive influence. And we will see you back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.